Hey, so third time's a charm. This is the third time that I'm attempting to video this. So let's hope that this is the time. This is going to be it. Hey y'all, episode 2, Feelings with Frannie. Here we go. Create a life that feels good on the inside, not one that looks good on the outside. I'm going to say that again. Create a life that feels good on the inside, not one that looks good on the outside. I hope I said that right twice. I'm a little tired. So yeah, I posted that on my Instagram today, and I just found that, and I really loved it, because that's where I'm at right now. I want to just feel good from the inside out. I want to exude so much happiness that somebody just looks at me and like, what is she doing with her life? And so that's what I'm working on, and I'm just going to talk with y'all a little bit more about that. So like I said, this is episode 2, Feelings with Frannie. I'm your host, Frannie, and we're going to talk a little bit about debt, because you know, I'm not the only one. I know that side note, I look like this. I took all my makeup off before this video. Don't know really why. Because I made it really cute today to record this. And I meant to record earlier. But then life and 2 kids and yeah. But my whole entire house is clean now. I feel like I could like rock out. I feel so good. So anyways, side note. I do have notes here. I'll probably always have notes every time I come to talk, because I just have squirrel brain. It's just a reality. My 2 kids have made this up here mashed potatoes. Yeah. Anyway, so debt. You know, when I really, for a long time, I talked about this in the last video, I have had this like stirring inside of me to share just things that are on my mind, and things that maybe I have lived through, or just my heart. Like, I just want to share my heart. And so before I started this vlog is really what I'm going for here. I've had lots of like conversations with different people to just kind of like get their honest opinion about me. Lots of prayer, lots of preparation on like what I want to share, how I want to do that, you know, all the things. I started a blog, and I did that really because I know that writing things helps me. It helps me get everything out. It helps me be just like in a better mental state, you know, but not everybody likes to read. And so I have changed that to this, and so here we are. The thing that I've really been like most enthralled with lately is, how can I get us out of debt? So Zach and me met, and I come into our relationship with a good bit of debt already from college and just poor money management. You know, I really, not that I'm using this as an excuse, but like our system is broken because, you know, the world tells you that you're supposed to go to school, supposed to graduate high school, supposed to go to college. And for me, nowhere in 12 years of public education was I taught anything about credit or taxes, or how to write a check, or why do I need a bank account? Why do I need a savings account? Like, nobody ever sat down and taught me those things. And so, you know, here I was, 25 years old, with a good amount of debt. And then I got pregnant, and, you know, the rest of is kind of history. And so Zach and me, really, I'm going to take the credit here. I started following Dave Ramsey, and, you know, we did really well for a really long time. And then we just haven't, you know, like, there's no excuse. I'm not going to sit here and try to make excuses. Like, life happens, and I just haven't been focused on our budget like I should have. And so something came up last month, and it just really, or this month, December, it just really put me in a tizzy. And so I started thinking about really what happened was I found a video of Gary Vaynerchuk, and I just started like watching so much stuff of his, and he just got me thinking like about all the stuff that I spend money on. Stupid stuff. And so it got me thinking. And so I was like, I gotta stop, because something's gotta change, because I don't want to live like this forever. And so then I talked with Zach about it, and I said to him, I was like, I know I'm not the only one. I know we're not the only ones. And so that's why I really wanted to share this with you. So a lot like the decision I made 8 months ago to get healthy and lose weight, and just like really that drive was for me to feel better, because like my mental state wasn't great. My attitude on the outside wasn't great. And so all of that starts with you on the inside. And so much like my decision to get healthy, this is the decision that I've made, and it's going to happen. So I can already tell that it's going to be way more of a challenge than the eating thing, because to me, like, I just look at myself in the mirror and I know that I don't want to go back to where I was. And so like, I don't eat the chocolate, or I don't eat potato chips, or, you know, whatever. But so money is a little different, you know, when you're trying to teach yourself, or I mean, I've taught myself this, but then when you're like, I really want that thing, but I don't need it. So that's where I'm at. So the question I started asking myself is this thing going to make me happy a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now? And that's really great to think about right now too, because we just started a new decade. Like, we're starting a new decade tonight, like in a few hours. And so what are you doing right now in your life? And is whatever you're doing or whatever you're buying, is that going to make you happy or happier a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now? So that's like the question that I've been asking myself. So for example, I love getting pedicures. I've loved it for as long as I can remember. Like, I remember getting my first pedicure probably when I was like 15 or 16 years old. Like, and you know, when I had a job pretty early on, and so like I've always been able to pay for those things for myself. And you know, throughout college, and even up until, I don't know, a month or so ago, I've always gotten a pedicure. Every 2 weeks I go to get a pedicure. And so, and I've always said like, that's my one thing in life, like, you know, whatever. But that's not true. That's a lie. Like, that's a lie that I was telling myself. And so I had a gut check, and really the gut check started because I was like, I want to know how much money in a year that I have spent on pedicures, right? And so I wrote down, there's 52 weeks in a year. So I divided that by 2, and then I multiplied that by 30, because if I go get a pedicure, it's going to be $30, $25 plus $5 for a tip, right? That's $780 in a year, y'all. Now, I also have been privy to getting my nails done. My nails are not done right now. Also, I have a really bad bobo. But, so I was like, $780. Let me see how much it is if I were to get my nails done with a pedicure in addition to that. $1,040 plus the $780 brings it to a whopping $1,118. And mind you, that's probably lowballing it. And so like that number, looking at that on a piece of paper makes me sick to my stomach to think that that's how much money that I have just been blowing, and I could have been paying off one of our credit cards, or putting it towards one of our other smaller debts, or paying extra on something, right? So I started looking at the bigger picture, and I started, thinking about like what truly makes me happy. Again, Gary Vaynerchuk, he has really got my wheels turning. And so I started to really think, like, what in my heart of hearts, the core that is inside of me, like what makes me happy? Traveling. Traveling has always made me happy for as long as I can remember, right? And so now being a mom, something that truly just, not sure what that was. Becoming a mom and now like seeing the world through my kids' eyes, that's really what makes me happy. That's really what gives me joy now. And chocolate, obviously, right? And there's, more things that make me happy, but those are really the most important. Like, I want to travel the world. I want to see everything I can see before I die. I want to go visit every 50 state or all the 50 states. I want to go to every country I can. I want to go to Israel with my family, with my 2 kids. I want to take them and walk the same path that Jesus walked, and all of those things. Like, I want to do all of that. But where we are right now in our lives, like, it's just not possible. And so, like, for me to say that out loud, it breaks my heart. But you know what? It is possible, because it just takes a change. It takes a decision, a plan, and then you do something about it, right? And so that's where I am right now. And so traveling, seeing the world through my eyes, and then I realized God didn't make me or you or anybody just to like pay bills and die. You've heard that, right? Like, God didn't make me just to manage our finances and homeschool my kids. Like, He made me to be extraordinary. He made me to be great. He made me to share His love with others, to share His word with others. Like, He didn't make us to just live, pay bills, and die. Like, that's not how this life is supposed to be. And so, how am I supposed to be great? How am I supposed to be extraordinary? How am I supposed to be, live out these dreams of mine? How am I supposed to do all those things? And so I can't really be as great as I can be if I'm stressed out about finances all the time, right? And how am I supposed to travel and see the world through my kids' eyes if I'm stressed out about money? And so I decided it's time for a change, right? That's where I'm at. And I'm going to share with you some more on that in just a minute, but I want to talk to you about this. I did some studying or some research. I did some research today. In America, this is from debt.org. You can go look it up, debt.org. DEBT.org is the website where I found all this. The American household debt hit $13.21 trillion in 2018. So that number is a combined total of 300 million people, American household debt. Like, that's like the average or the bigger picture of like the whole. On the website, they break down like different age groups, but I just wrote this one down because it's the age group I fall into. Ages 25 to 34, average credit card debt is $10,400. Yeah, just let that sink in. Ours is way less, thank the Lord. This is a direct excerpt from debt.org. Ages 35 and under. The greatest sources of millennial debt are credit cards, 20%, and student loans, 21%. According to a 2018 Northwestern Mutual survey, about 40% of monthly income is spent on discretionary costs, clothes, entertainment, and other non-essential items. So those last 3 words, non-essential items, that sums it all up. Like, it sums it all up. The non-essential things that we as a whole are purchasing, and the money that we don't have to pay for those things is mind-boggling. You know, in the 1950s, the world was changing. That's when credit was introduced. Credit was introduced in 1950. In 1958 was when American Express introduced their credit card. So 1950s, everything was changing. The world was changing. Everything was becoming a lot more modern. That's when really the emphasis on education came about. It was no longer about learning a trade. It was go to college. That's the only way. Go to college. And credit. So we're made to believe that college is the only way, you know, in or out, right? Like our whole lives, that's what we've heard. And then we haven't been taught the importance of financial or money management, like for the most part, because there are some people that did have that in high school or whatever, but for the most part. And then credit. So it's just a problem. It's a problem. And until you and I recognize the issue and do something about it, it's only going to get worse. So I'm just going to repeat this again. 300 million people, the American household debt, I lost the number, $13.21 trillion, y'all. That's a lot of money. Like, lot. So, I don't want to be a part of that any longer. I just don't. I want to travel the world. Like, I want to go everywhere there is to go. I want to be able to give, like, to people that are really in need. Like, but I can't do that if I have debt, right? We can't do that. We can't travel. We can't, you know, I guess we could, you know, get in more debt to go to Disney World or wherever. That's a dream of mine. Like, I've never been to Disney World. And so, like, I want to take both my kids and myself. But that's not a reality until all this other stuff is gone. Because it's just not right to keep borrowing money when you can't even afford to pay for what you already have, right? So I decided, Zach and me, we've talked about this, and this is the first time that I'm going to share it publicly, but I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So we decided to do a no spend challenge. So basically, I'm going to start back. I mean, I've been doing our budget for a while, but we did get off. But we're going to stick to our budget. We're not going to buy anything that's not in our budget, like no eating out, no just extra anything. I'm not going to be getting any pedicures. I'm not going to be getting my nails done. Like, I am going to I'm just going to be real with y'all. I am going to budget getting my hair done because, can you see all those gray hairs? Call it vanity. Call it what you will. It's going to happen. It'll be in the budget. But other than that, that's where we are. And I'm excited and I'm nervous. And I hope that by me sharing this with y'all and being so raw about it, that I inspire somebody else to make a change too. Because if you're between the ages of like 20 to 40, we'll just say that. That's two different I can't even think right now. Anyways, if you're between the ages of like 20 and 40, we'll say that. It's up to us to make a change. I'm saying me because I'm 30. The people that are in front of me and the people that are behind me, like, it's up to us as a whole to make a change if we're ever going to see something different in our lives or for our kids or for our grandkids, right? So that's where I am. I'm excited about it. I have this right down. I'm just going to go ahead and say it because this is how the perspective for me. So we just built this house and it's beautiful and I can't believe it sometimes. And I want so much stuff. Like, we don't have pictures on the wall. Like, we have some things hanging on the wall. Excuse me. I even have like frames with no pictures in the wall or on the wall. And I really want, you know, like I want these big, beautiful frames. I want my hallway filled up with pictures of my kids and these like beautiful frames with beautiful pictures. And, you know, I really want a paved driveway. I really want lots of things for our house. All of that costs money, lots of money. And sure, we could go get a loan and do it all up, but debt is normal, and I want to be weird. And that is straight from Dave Ramsey, if you didn't know. And if I'm just going to say this, if you have debt, if you have money issues and you're in a lot of debt and you haven't followed Dave Ramsey, go follow Dave Ramsey. He has tons of like free resources, and then there are tons of like books and other things that you can follow along with him, and he is phenomenal. So yeah, I would love to get a pedicure every 2 weeks, and I would love to buy these big, beautiful, fancy things for my home, but I don't need them to live. I don't need them to be happy. My kids don't need them to be happy. Like, my kids don't even care. I don't even think my husband cares about stuff like that, but I'm talking about like stuff on the walls and stuff. Silly. Yeah, so debt statistics, guys. So here's where I'm at. Never going back. Just like me losing 30-ish pounds. I think it's a little more than that. No, I haven't got on the scale. I'm not going back ever. Like, that's 30 pounds that will never see my body again. And so much like that, our financial situation is about to change because I've made the decision to do something about it. That feels so good to say. So I hope this inspires you. I hope that by me just like getting it out there and saying how I feel about it, maybe that helps you too. We're all in this together, you know, and I know I'm not the only one. I know us as a family aren't the only ones that struggle with these things. And so I hope this helps. Like, that's all I can say. If I, like, the whole purpose of me doing these videos is that, like, if I could just inspire one person, I would be okay with that. If I could just help one person, I'd be okay with that. Like, that would be awesome. So that's what I hope. Thanks for watching. This is episode 2, Fill-ins with Frannie. If you liked it and want to see more, hit the subscribe button down below. Remember, we're all in this together. And at the end of the day, just be kind. Bye. Until next time.